On this episode of Beyond the Booth, we're joined by one of the UK's most exciting talents, an award-winning DJ and producer whose musical journey has taken her to play at some of the world's most famous superclubs and festivals, including being a firm favourite at venues such as Amnesia and Cafe Mambo in Ibiza, and playing on lineups alongside the likes of Sammy Virji, Danny Howard, Girls Don't Think, Gok Wan and Interplanetary Criminal. She has released music on iconic record labels including He, She, They and Lady of the House, gaining lots of recognition and support from Radio 1 and features in Mix Mag and DJ Mag. Alongside her success in her own career, she takes the time to give back to the scene as a familiar voice in important industry conversations, frequently appearing on influential music panels, including recently speaking at the International Music Summit in Ibiza and visiting universities to share her journey, offer insight and inspire the next generation of talent. So, with all of that said, we're extremely lucky and excited to have her with us today on the podcast. Please welcome the amazing Angel Lee. And how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us in the podcast. We're really excited to have you.
Me too, I'm excited.
You've been so busy recently. This weekend, I know you've been out DJing. Where have you been playing?
So I've been playing at my residency, which is at Fibre in Leeds, which is a well-known, iconic venue in Leeds. It's been around for like 20 odd years now, and it's all about house music, and it's a great place to play.
Love it. How often are you at Fibre?
Twice a week, so I do Saturdays and Sundays.
Nice. And we're well into festival and Ibiza season, which I know you've already been out to Ibiza already.
Yeah, I've been like 4 times already.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, not just to play, just to go as well, like IMS, which is an industry conference there that takes place yearly. So I've been there and been to the opening party at Amnesia. So it's been good fun.
Amazing. Well, we'll get all into that in a minute.
Yeah.
And then in terms of festivals, I know you've been playing at a few. You've played at Mighty Hoopla. Yeah. How was that? That was incredible. That was for Lab 54,
who are an incredible, great team of people, and they'd set up they'd done a house party, so they'd set up a little space that was like a house, so it had like a shower, bathroom, bedroom, garden. It was really cool.
I love that. So what area of the house were you playing in?
I was in the kitchen.
Love it.
It was actually really cool because if you opened the fridge, that was like the backstage area.
I did see. I saw a video on your Instagram of that. I love that. I love quirky things like that.
It was really cool.
Amazing. So I'd love to start with hearing from you about what you do in your own words.
Right, so I am a DJ and producer. I've been DJing for a long time, producing for a long time. I did a degree in music production and I did a master's in music for moving image, so that's more like score writing, although I don't play an instrument, but it's all done by ear and everything. But so music is my life, I suppose.
I love it. And what does a typical week look like for you?
So a typical week is basically obviously DJing on a weekend. Through the week, I really like to focus on music production, my own edits, and creating new music, and also spending time with my dogs. Which is the most important thing. That's the most important one.
Yeah. Do you get their opinion on your tracks as well?
I do actually.
Yeah.
I do actually. I have got a few videos where I'm going, oh, what do you think to this? And they're like, oh, come and go.
Yeah.
Walk off. Where's my treat?
I love it. Cool. So going back to the very start of your journey, what was your musical upbringing like?
So I think I've got 2 older sisters, and a lot of the music they listen to obviously had an influence. So, for example, like one of my sisters used to love De La Soul, and I recently did an edit of one of their tracks. So I suppose it's had quite a big impact. They really like Michael Jackson, Madonna, I remember seeing records from Beautiful South, just loads of different stuff. My dad liked Bob Marley. So loads of different influences, and obviously a lot of my tracks now I've got my heritage is South Asian, so I'm from my parents are from South India, so I've put a lot of Indian influences into some of my tracks, so like tabla sounds, Indian vocals. The last track I'd released on He, She, They was called Devi, and that was named after my mum because it had like an Indian singer in it, and and I've got a track coming out this year on Lady of the House, and that's named after my late father as well, which has got some Indian sounds as well. So that's a very special one.
Incredible. So we're going to get all into your productions,
yes,
and I can't wait to talk about all of that because your tunes are incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Obviously, dance is your sound, house music. What got you into that dance sound? Because you talk about Bob Marley and sort of other eclectic influences. What got you into dance music?
I think I listened to Radio 1 a lot, so I remember always listening to Radio 1. I think it was on a Friday night, and listening to the dance show and just being like, yes, love this. Really intrigued to like how they physically mixed two tracks together and that sort of thing. So yeah, that I suppose that was, you know, the start of it, I would have thought. Yeah.
And so that sparked your love of dance music. What got you interested in actually picking up a record or picking up your USB and starting DJing?
Yeah, so obviously listening to Radio 1, and then I actually left school at 16 and worked for a year, and I saved up and bought some decks. So I learned on vinyl, and then I went back to college and did, I think I did photography randomly and psychology, which was a no-go. And then I actually did, there was a course for DJing, so I did that. And that was really like, the start of things, because then from there I went to do a course in music production, and then that led to a degree in music production, and then it sort of snowballed from there, really. Incredible.
So would you say that a lot of the learning in the beginning was self-taught, or did it come from...
A lot of it was self-taught, and then obviously going to the College of Music for the DJ course, that helped, helped a lot.
Yeah. And during that time when you were starting out, what sort of music were you mixing?
Do you know what? It was like a lot of house, garage. I've got like a lot of garage vinyl. So yeah, a bit of a mix. I love all kinds of music. I love everything from like Motown to R&B. I just think you can't really decide, can you? You can't decide what makes your head nod or your feet tap. You can't choose what you get that connection from.
100%. And you can hear all those influences coming in through your own productions as well. I think that definitely helps. And then in terms of early DJ inspirations, who sort of made you want to get behind the decks?
I suppose it was just seeing like DJs at that time and friends at that time DJing. It's really inspirational seeing someone play and like going, oh my God, and seeing how they buzz off it. So I would say, just like being out and like seeing people do it, just like your local DJs.
Yeah, I like that take, because often you hear people like shout about the big names, but it's nice that your inspirations were people that you actually know.
Definitely. And when you're there and you're supporting them, I mean, you'll know as well when you're playing and you've got your friends there, it's like the best thing ever. You could have just two of your friends there, and if they're buzzing off you and vibing off you, it's like the best feeling.
Absolutely, it is the best thing ever. And I guess that's why it's important to, whether you study music formally or of course we're part of Academy 94, so this is another space where people could meet other DJs. And so that's interesting to hear about your first introduction to DJing. Can you remember what your first gig was?
Do you know what? I think it might have been playing in a bar in Leeds that doesn't exist anymore. I think it was, this is going back a long time, I think it was called Dr. Who's, and my friend was a DJ at the time. She's still a DJ actually, Jo Kira, and she was DJing, and I think she got me to come on to play for her. And then there was like competitions. I remember doing a competition it was at the Elbow Rooms at the time, and I think it was Tony Green. I don't know whether you know Tony Green, but he was a promoter at the Elbow Rooms at that time, and he put on a competition. I've actually got the photo of me playing it, and I think it was like a garage set that I did at that time with vinyl. So I think they were probably the first ones. I might be wrong, but I think they're the first ones. Yeah.
Can you remember how you felt when you first got behind the decks, like
Sick,
outside?
probably.
Really nervous.
I get nervous at all gigs. All gigs still get nervous. Yeah.
Do you have any like pre-gig rituals to help you stay zen?
No, maybe a little shot.
A little drink, yeah.
A little tiny shot, yeah. But apart from that, no, just sometimes I like listen to the music, but I don't really prep my sets as much because I like to know the vibe when I get there.
Yeah.
So, and then go from that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Was there a moment where you thought, right, this could actually turn into a career for me? Was there a particular gig or moment where you were out DJing that you thought, right, I could make this into my job?
Maybe not make it into my job, but maybe go. There was a time when I hit an age and I was like, oh, I really need to like settle down and do a proper job. And I got this job. I won't say the company, but I got this job, and it was a little bit salesy. I got the company car, good wage, and I absolutely hated it. Hated it. Like, it was awful. And then I'd taken a day off to go DJ for an event, and I remember being stood there going, this is what I want to do. I don't want to do that. And I didn't have a job to go to. And after that, I just left the job and then ended up DJing full time and making it my mission to do that. So I've always just been a DJ, really. Yeah. With little bits on the sides.
So how did you make that work in terms of getting gigs when you were first starting out?
I played a lot of bars, and just was their resident DJ, so I'd just do do the circuit. I mean, I've played all over Leeds, like Revolutions, Rev de Cuba, played at Prism, there's a lot of them out there anymore, like Angelica, East 59, I just did loads of different gigs everywhere.
Well, I read somewhere that at one point you were DJing 7 nights a week.
Yes.
How was that?
It was I think I had one night off, but I think one of the days I did 2 gigs in one day. But at the time, it was just what you did. And they were some of them were 6-7 hour sets. But it was just what I did. It was life, and I didn't really give it a second thought.
When did you sleep though?
Not a lot. I literally just I didn't focus on anything else at that point though, which is why, especially after COVID, I decided to not go back to that cycle, because I wanted to focus on production. And it was and when you're doing that amount of gigs, you just don't have the energy. You don't have the energy. You might find an hour here and there, but it's too tiring. You just you literally get up and then that's it. And then go to work.
Yeah. And what did the people around you think of when you first started, you quit your 9 to 5 and then you started going full time with music? What did they think? Were they worried? Were they excited?
People probably just thought, she's going to do what she's going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just let me get on with it. I mean, I'm really lucky that I've got brilliant friends around me, brilliant family, and everybody's really supportive, and they've seen my journey, and they're I've got a great set of friends that are just go on, you go get it, and so
that's amazing. You're really lucky to have people like that.
I am. They're there when the rubbish times, and they're there on the good times, so I couldn't wish for anything else, really.
And what would you say are some of the key things that you've done to maintain that career in music and not feel like you've had to go to a 9 to 5 that outside of music?
Yeah, I mean, I think just determination, because it can be really hard. It's a really tough industry. Especially now, it's a really competitive industry. Everybody's a DJ. Everybody can do it, and I think it's really accessible now with social media. But I think it's just the determination going. I will have moments where I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to give it all up and do 9 to 5. But then I think, well, that's not what I love. And I just think, no, do you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm, determined to do it.
Yeah, amazing. You mentioned that you don't plan your sets and you sort of go in and assess the vibe.
Yeah.
How do you like to prepare for your sets?
Well, I'll obviously look for music and I'll get music, but I won't have a set where I'm going, right, this is what I'm playing in this order. I'll do a folder of music that I think is going to be great for that, that particular gig. And then that's it really. I listen to a lot of mixes. I listen to a lot of, what other people are playing, and then go from there really. And yeah, I mean, going out and hearing what other DJs are playing is great, is inspirational as well. And seeing how the crowd reacts, or seeing how what they're playing makes you feel, and going, oh yeah, this is a good track, I like that vibe. So I would say all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's important going out and seeing other DJs, because the first time we met was at a gig at Testbed, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Girls Don't Think.
Yeah, it was a brilliant gig actually, that. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
So do you organise your USB based on the event, or do you have it in genres or vibes?
I'm really, really disorganised when it comes to my music. I'm like really bad. I'm like, I speak to other DJs and they're like, oh yeah, we've got this. I'm like, oh no, but if I've tried to be organised and then I can't find my music. So
as long as you know where everything is.
I know where everything is, and it's like, but I'm terrible. I've tried to organise it, and I just thought, you know what, it's a waste of time, because it just creates more work for me. So I'm just, so I don't have any, I'll do like, if I'm playing a gig, I'll do like a folder of, right, that's the gig. So, and then, but I know that where it is for if I'm playing a different gig, I'll go, oh, okay, I know that track's in that folder. But yeah, I'm really, really not organised at all.
That's interesting you say that, because I know you used to play quite a lot of open format sets as well.
I did, yes.
Obviously, your sound now is very eclectic still.
Yeah.
How would you describe your sound today in 2025?
Do you know what? I would say house, garage influences, but again, it just depends on I'm playing. Like, I love to play different genres of house, but I like to read the vibe and see what people are into that time. But yeah, I'd say like really, upfront house, something that's going to sound really old, something that's got really good beats. Yeah, exactly. Just something, just whatever makes you just go, that just connects with people.
Yeah.
Get people moving. Yeah,
absolutely. So you've played some incredible places, and you're definitely no stranger to Ibiza.
Yes.
Can you remember the first time you played in Ibiza?
Oh my gosh, I think it was, I think it was at Ibiza Rocks. Oh, my memory's so bad, but yeah, I think it was Ibiza Rocks, a band called Cuckoo Land. And yeah, it was just really cool. I was just like, oh my God, I'm playing Ibiza. This is insane. Yeah.
How did that come about, that gig?
Yeah, so basically, I basically got asked by my friend who works there, and she was like, right, do you want to, there's a possible opportunity for you. Do you want to play? And I was like, yeah, 100%.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. And then you've been there most years ever since?
Yeah, it's been really good actually. It's still a pinch me moment. Like, I'm like, did that just happen? Like, last year was insane, like playing at Amnesia and playing for Mambo, and, like warming up for Danny Howard, and yeah, just all these incredible gigs, Pikes, like the Wild Corner. It is like, I still think, oh, was that a dream? Did that really happen? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's I'm very lucky and I'm very grateful.
Yeah, I mean, you say it so casually, like these are some of the most iconic clubs in the world. You mentioned Cafe Mambo, Amnesia, Pikes. I know you've done the iconic toilets in High. What are some of your highlights from playing in Ibiza?
I just think, just the vibe. You can't, anyone that's been to Ibiza knows it's just like, it's just another level. It's just like the people there, people are just up for a party, they're up for the music. It's insane. I
remember seeing one clip of you, let me get this right, I think it was you back to back with Becky Hill, Gok Wan, Cyrita. Is that, did I get that right?
You got that right, yeah.
What is the story behind that? How did that happen? Because that group of people is incredible.
It was, so I was actually playing, Gok was playing at the Wild Corner in High, and he'd invited me on to like play with him. So I was like, brilliant. So, and then it so happened that Becky Hill was there and Cyrita, both incredible DJs. Becky's partner, Charlie G as well. All three of them insane, obviously. Like Cyrita's amazing. They all are. And Gok was like, should we all just go back to back? Like, all right then. And I was like, oh God, yeah. But yeah, and then we just did that, and it was just, it was insane. Really
so it's
good.
Completely spontaneous.
Spontaneous, just happened there and then. Gok's a great person at bringing people together. So from totally different backgrounds and vibes, and yeah.
Wow. And I know that you're good friends with Gok Wan.
Yes, I am.
How did you first meet Gok?
So it's very random. We were both booked to DJ at a corporate event, which was for Wilkinson's, which no longer exists, unfortunately, the brand. So we were playing for Wilkinson's, and we met, and he was on after me, and it was like, oh, nice to meet you. And then we ended up playing together again. I used to have a residency at Vibe Rooms in Harrogate, which again is no longer here. And we met again, and then we just kept in touch ever since. And I think that was about 8 or 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I'm not quite sure, but around that time we've been good friends ever since.
Amazing. And you've been on tour with him at some sellout shows at places like Coco, Camden.
Yeah, he did, he obviously in lockdown created live streams, Isolation Nation, and it just blew up. So we did Brixton, is it Electric Brixton? Have I got that right?
There's a couple, isn't there, in Brixton?
And then Coco, and then Alexandra Palace, Roundhouse, incredible. He's brought me on board there, which was really good. Yeah,
and the clips I've seen from when you two have been together at DJ gigs, the energy's always so good.
He's basically like the big brother, the annoying big brother I ever had, but he is also one of the nicest people you will ever meet. Yeah.
And what are the crowds like at those Gok Wan gigs?
Oh, they're just up for it. They're just up for anything. They just love it. The energy is just amazing. Yeah,
amazing.
It's like a family. It's like a big family.
Yeah, it feels like that. I've seen him play a couple of times, and the energy is just incredible.
He brings a really good vibe to any party. He's brilliant at what he does.
I love it. So we've chatted a little bit about Ibiza, but you've played in so many other places. Not to put you on the spot, but have you got any particular standout, surreal moments from DJ gigs that have stuck with you for any particular reason, whether it was super special, funny, crazy?
One time when the dance floor broke, I won't say where, but the dance floor broke while I was DJing, and the venue had to basically be shut down.
What do you mean the dance floor broke?
Literally, I was playing a track, Satisfaction, Benny Benassi, and just heard a crack. Literally, everyone on the dance floor turned round, and the dance floor completely broke, so I had to shut the club down. But that was a moment that I won't forget.
I think you need to add that to your CV. Angel Lee breaks dance floors. Literally.
Literally. And
I've got proof. I love it. So, I mean, that kind of leads me on to my next question. Have you had any gigs where something might have gone wrong and you've had to recover it or think on your toes?
There's a couple of things that come into mind, actually. There's one time when I DJ with USBs, I always use 2 USBs. I know some people just take one and they link them up, but I'm always so paranoid that something might go wrong with one of the USBs. And luckily, because of this, I'd saved myself. I was DJing in Lakota in Bristol, and the deck just turned itself off. And I was like, but luckily I'd lined up another track before, and managed to save it. But the panic was awful because it was really busy. And I was like, I managed to do it.
Did you just have 2 CDJs?
2 CDJs, but luckily I wasn't linking. I was using 2. So I always use 2 USBs.
Yeah, good advice.
Just in case.
Yeah, be paranoid. Don't let anyone tell you being over the top.
Yeah. Always take 2.
Yeah. So you've had loads of career highlights.
Yeah.
Outside of your DJing production career as well, you are a promoter. You ran Angie's Disco for a long time, which I remember I heard about that a long time ago because everyone was shouting about it. My hairdresser, he loves Angie's Disco. How did that come about? When did you start Angie's Disco?
Well, randomly, I remember having the idea in my head when I was DJing one time in just one of the bars that I was playing at. It was pre-COVID. I was like, I really want to call an event Angie's Disco and do loads of disco stuff. Anyway, I was going to do an event. It didn't happen because of COVID. So then I was like, right, okay, I'll do some live streams. So anyway, I ended up doing live streams and became really popular. Went on a site called Home Rave, which was run by Danny Bond at the time. And then, and then ended up doing some events, and they did really well. It was really good fun. It's now sort of evolved, and now it's, I've always wanted to do something with orchestras. And I'd actually done a gig with Gok, and it was in Glasgow, and I'd ended up taking one of the other DJ's friends with me back to Leeds, and he had started his own orchestra, and we were talking. I was like, oh, I'd love to do something with you. It was very like everything happens for a reason. And then we ended up doing some events with his musicians, and then we ended up doing an Angie Disco Orchestra. So now Angie Disco, although the events don't happen, we've sort of collaborated, and he puts out Angie Disco Orchestra events. So where we do, it's a set of like disco and funky house with an orchestra and singers. So we did like Groove Box one year, the VIP area, and it's done like, was it Halifax Town Hall? It might have been Huddersfield. I can't remember. One of the town halls. Yeah. And then it's just it's evolved into that now.
That's incredible that you've managed to pull together that, because usually you hear about that as being like the 10-year, 20-year anniversary with a big orchestra. So that's incredible. Yeah,
Mikey, who he basically runs something called Paradox Orchestra. He's like one of my really good friends now. Yeah. So that's a chance meeting him. It evolved into that. So and he does loads. He does loads of brilliant orchestra. He does like a Fleetwood Mac orchestra. He does like a drum and bass orchestra, an R&B orchestra, and then so Angie Disco is just another addition to what he can offer. Wow. And it just sort of evolved naturally.
Have you got any more coming up in the diary, or is that
not at the minute? We've got talks with things, but he sort of looks after that side of things now. So while I focus on my DJ stuff, so
I'll keep an eye out for that.
Yes.
Keep an eye out for that. So you won the award last year for Best DJ at the White Rose Bar Awards.
Yes.
Could you tell us about that? How did that come about?
I just got told that I'd been nominated for it, and I was like, oh wow. So we went to the event, and then it was like when I got announced, I was like, oh my gosh,
So did you not know beforehand you were going to win?
No, I didn't know beforehand. Yeah, so it was good though. It was like, it was nice to be recognised in your hometown.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What did that feel like receiving that recognition? Because I know a lot of the time it's like coming back from the club at 4 a.m. and is it worth it? Was that like a moment for you where you're like? Yeah,
I was just like, do you know, it's nice to get recognition when you've been doing it for so long, and then be like the people around you and people from your hometown that you've worked with and know for years, and then to see them give you the recognition is pretty special.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you have it pride of place in the house, the award?
Yeah, it's like it's on my table. So
I love it on the table.
So on the table, yeah.
I love it. And another thing that you've been doing for a while is you've had a show on Select Radio for the last 5 years. Yeah,
that's been going a long time. So that started with Gok randomly because he did a guest mix and he got some other DJs on, and I was one of the DJs, and then Josh who works for Select was like, would you like a show, your own show? And I was like, yeah, amazing. So I've worked with them for quite a while now.
Amazing. And do you record at the studio, or can you record
I do it at home. It's a shame because I'm not in London and that's where the studios are, but I do it from home. So.
And what's your approach? Does your approach differ when you're recording a set for a radio show versus in the club? Do you have a different approach to DJing?
Just no swearing.
No swearing.
That's about it. Yeah.
Because you explained before how you love to bounce off the crowd and read the crowd, but you don't have that on radio.
No, you don't. And I think for me, it's just like listening to those tracks. I'll know instantly whether it's a track that I want to use because it gives you go, oh yeah, I like this. Or if it's just a bit like, oh, that's not really doing anything for me, then no. So yeah.
And another thing that you've done is you've spoken on a lot of really important panels about different discussions in the music industry. Yeah. How did you start getting into that sort of panel discussions?
It just like the one that I did at IMS, that was via Lady of the House. So that's a label that I'm signed to, and they're really great at pushing women and non-binary. they have really important discussions. And so it was all about women, it was all about like menopause and like that sort of vibe. And it was really interesting as well. Although being on the panel, it was really interesting to hear what everybody else had to say. So I think it's really good to have those discussions, especially in a very male-oriented industry.
Definitely, it's really important.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about your experience navigating the industry as a woman? Because like you say, it's quite a male-dominated industry. Yeah,
I mean, I think throughout my career, I think, and still is, you can still see there's like a little bit of way where you get treated differently because you're a female. Sometimes that's a bonus and sometimes it isn't. Like there's loads of things from, like the customers to how they react to you, to just like generally like the day-to-day of DJing. But for me, I always see it as a way to make me do better. It gives me more determination to go, well, actually, if I'm not getting booked for this or I'm not taken seriously because I'm a female, I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you, and just gives me more like drive.
I really like that. Have you got any other advice to younger girls that are sort of getting into the dance music industry and it's a bit daunting, especially as a woman?
I think just hold your head up and you're just as good as the next person, whether they're female or a male, and anything anybody says to you, don't let it, dampen your confidence or dim your light. Just like keep believing and remembering why you're doing it.
Amazing, thank you. And you spoke about Lady of the House.
Yes.
And they've got an incredible ethos.
Yes.
How did that come about, you getting signed to Lady of the House and working with them?
I actually entered a competition with them. So they put a competition out, I think it was about 3 years ago now. And they had like 4 godmothers. So they had Jaguar, Becky Hill, Charlie T and Sam Divine.
Amazing.
And what they did is they all picked a winning track and Jaguar picked my track. So I was like, wow. And then so I won the competition there. I got to go to ADE, perform with Beatport and Labelworks. And then, it was, and then I got another gig warming up for Seth Troxler that day. Yeah, so it was all very like a whirlwind.
Yeah.
It was great. And and then since then I've had like quite a few signed to them, and obviously got another one coming out this year. So what they do is brilliant. They really support and they push the female narrative, and it is great. Yeah.
And that track that won was called Bill's Groove.
It was, yes.
What did it feel like when you first heard that it won the competition and Jaguar?
Do you know what? I just was like, what? I remember getting the phone call from Layla, who has Lady of the House, and she founded it, and she was, I can't remember whether she video called me actually and was like, oh, by the way, you've won. And I was like, trying to keep my cool. But I don't think I did. But it was incredible.
And then it got played on the radio as well.
Yes.
How did that feel hearing it on Radio 1?
Just insane. Just like, wow, couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So in terms of your production, at what point in your DJ journey did you get into production?
So I'd say pretty soon actually, because it sort of led from the DJ course that I started and went onwards. But even when I graduated, I didn't really do anything with it. And I think my downfall was a confidence thing. I just really didn't think I was good enough. I didn't, just didn't believe in myself. And then I think I did a couple of bits, and then it was in COVID when I had the time that I was like, no, I'm going to push myself. It was a long time afterwards, but I suppose it happens when you're ready, when you feel comfortable. So.
And do you feel like you could remember all the wisdom that you learned during your degree?
A bit of it, and then a lot of it's like picking stuff up as well. I learned. I always used Logic from uni, but now I use Ableton as well. So I try and learn other things as well as I'm going along.
Interesting. Well, I was going to ask what software you use, Logic and Ableton.
Yeah.
Do you use any other plugins, hardware?
Do you know what? I've used a couple of plugins. My favourite one probably, I use Diva quite a lot, which is a plugin that I use for Logic. And then in terms of Ableton, I usually tend to use that for edits and things.
Yeah.
But I feel like I might be trying to use Logic as well now for edits. I'm like, I flip between the two. I mean, Logic has always been original productions, and then Ableton for like little edits and stuff, quick quick things.
Why is that? Why do you use Ableton for your edits?
I think I find it easier with the audio to like chop and change it and warp it and things.
Okay.
But I'm sort of like spending more time on Logic now, and I'm like, should I just stick to Logic? But I think it's useful to know both. I think it's personal preference as well. Like some people prefer the interface of Ableton and others prefer the interface of Logic.
Yeah.
But,
it's personal preference. Do you work in session mode or do you work in the arrangement view?
Arrangement view, yeah.
Love it. So if someone hasn't come across your music before, how would you describe your own production?
I would call so basically a lot of my tracks, Indian influences, house vibes, maybe a bit of garage like influences in there, and deep bass lines, and maybe some nod to 90s rave. So yeah,
you can definitely hear all of that in your production. What's your creative process like when you get into the studio and you've got a blank canvas on Logic or Ableton? What do you start off by doing?
A lot of the time I'll start off with a reference track and I'll think, right, I really like the sound of this. These tracks can change throughout the process. And then I'll start with my drums and start with and then the bass line, and then I'll go from there, and then I'll try and find some really cool vocals. I have worked with vocalists before, but sometimes when I'm like, I'll go, right, let me just go find some stuff that I like. But then, I mean, I've started so many projects that I haven't finished as well. So I'm like, oh, I've got another idea. And then I'm like, totally forget about that. But I'm trying to be more focused at the minute.
Yeah, and where do you find your samples?
So I use like Loop Cloud a lot, which I find really good. I know like a lot of people use Splice, but I didn't really like the interface of that. But like Loop Cloud, they've got loads of great stuff. And like I can find like loads of like Indian sounds there, which I think is great. So...
Amazing. Yeah, it's good to have like other software to use than just Splice.
Yeah, exactly.
You talk about finishing tracks and that's difficult.
That is difficult.
Obviously, a big part of finishing tracks is the mixing and mastering process. Yes. What's your approach to that? Do you do it yourself? Do you work with someone else?
I work with two sound engineers. So I work with a guy called Ian Bland and also Ollie Gorp. So they're the two sound engineers. So I will get my track. I'll get what I want it to be is in terms of like bass lines and all the sounds and the drums and the vocals, and then they will put the finishing touches to it, which is great because they're both incredible at what they do. So and get it sounding right.
Yeah, it's great that you found two people that you really trust.
Yeah, like the both of them that are amazing, like really good. I've known Ollie for years. Ian Bland, I've worked with him for a long time on my productions and stuff. So yeah, it's great. And they know how I work as well. So it's just easy, and it's just like, they know what I want and what my sound is. And so they get it to the top notch, top notch production,
When was your first release?
My first release was, I think it was in COVID time. So it was called That Thing, and it had the vocals of my friend on. And that was released in, it must have been like, I want to say like 2020, but it must have been 2021.
Okay.
I'm not too sure actually, around that time, but yeah.
And did you have your very first release mixed and mastered, or did you?
Yes, I did.
So from the off.
It's got to be sounding good.
Yeah, amazing. Can you remember the first time you played one of your own tracks out in one of your DJs?
No, I can't, but I'm always really nervous to play them.
Yeah.
I'm really nervous. I always just think, is it that good? It's not good enough to be played. Like, what if they clear the dance floor? But it is a great feeling when you do actually play it and then like people are dancing. Like, there's no other feeling. Like, especially if it's a new one, you just think, I think as a DJ you can get, especially when you do like bars and the bar circuit, you know that a lot of people, they want to hear stuff that they know. And it's like taking that risk to go playing something new. So when that happens and you do it and you get a good reaction, it's like, it's such a buzz.
What's the best response you've had to a track?
I think I played an edit in Amnesia, and it like getting everybody dancing, and also the track that I played that was released on He, She, They, playing that in Amnesia to like a rammed room was just, and seeing everybody dancing to it, I was like, that's me.
I love that. And on the topic of your new track on He, She, They,
Yes.
Debbie.
Yes.
So you've told me that it's named after your mum. So
Yes.
and it's a nod to your Indian heritage as well.
It is, yeah.
So it's clearly a very special track to you.
It is, yeah.
Could you tell us the story behind how that track came about?
I just wanted to do a track with some like Indian influencers, and so I'd basically found some like little tabla sounds, and if you listen to the track, you can hear the sounds. It still doesn't go away from it being a house track, but I just wanted it to like just enhance it and just have those sounds. And I found a really good like female vocal, and then like I like to use like sometimes like a rap vocal or something, just and it just sort of worked, and I was like, yeah, like sometimes you'll make a track and you're like, this is the one, this is like, I love it, and I didn't, to be honest, I didn't think it was going to get signed, and I was like because it was part of an EP with He, She, They, it was, I'd given them my first track and I was working on a second track. And I didn't even think that I think I just sent it on the off chance, and I didn't have any expectations with it. And they were like, yeah, we want to lead with this. We think it's really good. So I was like, yeah.
Incredible.
So, yeah.
You've described He, She, They as a dream label.
Absolutely, yeah.
What do you like about He, She, They?
Just everything that they stand for. I think anybody that's ever been in a minority where they felt excluded or didn't feel that they fit in, they provide that space, and I think it's just very close to my heart. It's like to have somewhere where you just feel like nobody's judging you, you're not different. It's great, and I think being signed to them was just like another wow, can't believe it. Yeah,
incredible. And I read somewhere on your Instagram that you'd seen a post that He, She, They had posted about encouraging artists to send music to labels because you never know. What would be your advice to producers that they've got a track and they want to get it out on a label, but they just don't know where to start, they don't know where to send it, they don't know if they should send it? What's your advice to those people? I think
just go for it. Just go for it. And that is what the post said on He, She, They. They'd shared somebody else's, it was like an inspirational quote. It was basically another Instagrammer who always posts about, creatives and keep going and, don't stop, it's your art is important. And they'd shared that, and they've said, it's really funny actually, because they'd shared it saying, just because people don't like your track doesn't mean it's not a good track. It doesn't, just because it's not right for them doesn't mean it's not right for someone else, and send it. And so I messaged them, not thinking I would hear anything. And then Stephen Brains messaged back saying, here's my email, send me it. And they were like, oh, this one isn't for us, but keep sending your music. So that's what I did. And then randomly I actually met Stephen and a couple of times, and I was like, this guy's incredible. And then met the rest of the team. And and then they were so right in saying, someone's going to like it. Someone's going to like it. And I'd sent them quite a few before they picked that one up, the one that they picked up. And I was like, it's just that the proof's in the pudding. Somebody will pick it up, and it can be really, it can be really disheartening when you get knockbacks and knockbacks and knockbacks, and like you just think, oh, I'm just not good enough, and is it worth it? And like, but you've just got to pick yourself up and go, no, do you know what? This is what I want to do, and I've got to keep going.
Absolutely.
So I think they were instrumental in like hammering that point across.
Amazing. And it clearly works both ways, because like you say, it's music's subjective, but also things have got to be right for labels. So
of course, and what's wrong for one label will be right for another label, and vice versa. So it's finding where you fit in, and so just got to keep going.
Amazing. And you landed a track on one of your dream labels.
I know.
Incredible.
Keep going.
Advice to new producers. Starting out, a lot of DJs are getting into production, they don't know where to start with it, or people are making music not quite finished and stuff. What would be your advice to those starting out?
Find your own sound, and not don't try and be like somebody else. I think it's really easy to. I think getting influences and being inspired by music is great, but don't try and sound like that. And I do it all the time. I go, oh, I want it to sound like this track and like this, and then I'm like, and then it ends up being something else, and I'm like, but that's my sound. So why are you trying to be like somebody else? Like, find your own sound and find what you like doing and what it naturally progresses into.
I love that. That's brilliant advice. Thank you. Upcoming releases. Can you tell us anything about things that are coming out, or is that keeping hush for now?
No, I've got a release coming out on Lady of the House, which will be the back end of this year, and it's a really special one. It's a track from quite a while ago, and it's named after my late father. It's got some Indian influences in there, and so that's coming out. It'll be after the summer, in the winter sometime. So that's probably the next one that's coming up. But yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Exciting. Can you tell us the name of it, or is
it's named after my dad? It's called Gopi.
Love it. Incredible. So I saw another thing on your Instagram. You've got an incredible Instagram, by the way. I love how you just post a bit of everything. Like, I feel like you can really get an insight into your personality and what you're about. You posted a picture where it was a very glamorous picture of you on an aeroplane with your earplugs in and you're asleep. Which I love. Usually I ask what is a side that we don't see on social media, but I guess you do post a lot of your life. Is there anything that we don't see on social media to do with your job?
Probably. I tell you what, the one thing is, probably the like negatives to it. I think the mental health things probably, like, I think anybody who works in the industry knows that it's like mental health can be a struggle, especially with social media. Like, you see everybody else's things, and like you've just said, oh, your Instagram looks amazing, and I'm like, I don't think it does, and I look at other people's and go, oh, should I be doing that? Or why are they doing that and I'm not doing that? And like, it's like the comparison. I think that's the thing that you don't see, the struggles. I think some people are vocal about it, which I think is great. I haven't got to that point yet where I'm like, I'm feeling like this and feeling like that. I just post like what I'm doing and stuff. But I think that's a side that I think that I don't really like speak about.
Yeah, the comparisons.
And I think it's really hard with socials because it's there, it's all visual, it's there for you to see. Everything's about socials now, everything's about a visual representation, and seeing people do other stuff where you think you might should be or you might not do, and you think, oh, like, and it's like, I try now not to look, especially at night, not to look on Instagram, because it's like, if you get into that head space and then before you go to sleep, it's not good. Yeah. So,
that's good advice, not going on your phone actually before bed with the whole comparison thing.
It's like, it can be just like, it can make you overthink, and that's not a good thing.
Because I think in this digital age as well, like, we're no longer just living in our own world, are we? We're just comparing our wins to everybody else's wins. Whereas your wins, like, you need to celebrate them.
Exactly. It's like, don't compare yourself. It's really hard not to. It's really, really hard not to. But don't compare yourself, and just think. I always see this thing every so often, and I think it's a really good reminder. Like, it's thinking this, where you are now is what you dreamed of like 2 years ago, a year ago, and like, imagine yourself like 5 years ago saying you're going to be doing this X, and you'd be like, oh my God, like, that's amazing, really. So I think that, like, always look at how far you've come.
Be your own benchmark instead of comparing to everyone else. I love that analogy of like 5 years ago.
Just think, what would that version of you think if you were going to say you were doing all this? You'd be like, oh my God, I've made it.
She'd be in disbelief.
I can retire.
See you later. Can't go to the shops to get a loaf of bread anymore. I love that. Like, being played on Radio 1 and like touring, like you're doing incredible. So
Thank you.
We've talked about the lows. What about the highs? What's the best part of your job? What makes it worth it?
Just the people, and just like hanging out with like you know, like-minded people and just having a laugh and like playing music. I mean, playing music is just like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, and seeing people enjoy it and seeing people happy because of the tunes you're picking, it's just like, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. And what makes you want to give back? Because like we said before, you're going on a lot of panels and you're here today on the podcast sharing your wisdom about your career and, and helping the next generation of talent. What motivates you to do those kind of things?
I just think it's just like nice to be nice, isn't it? Like it's nice to be like, to let people know if you've got any advice for people, why wouldn't you share it? Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you? Why, if that's going to help somebody, why not?
Because you went back into your old university, didn't you? You've been a couple of times to do some talks there. What was that like? Full circle moment. It
was just like, it was bizarre actually, because it was like obviously seeing the actual physical changes of it, and then just being like, it was pretty insane, to be honest. Yeah, it was good. It was like nice but a bit surreal.
So that's Leeds College of Music, Leeds Conservatoire.
It's a conservatoire now. Yeah.
Did you see yourself a little bit in the students that were there? That was you?
I think just being like that, not knowing where to go, and like, you know, like people say, well, how do you ask people? Or like, if you're a bit nervous, it's like you just got to bite the bullet and do it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Well, you've clearly been key parts of so many people's journeys, giving your advice and things. Who's been a big part of your journey that you can credit some of your success to?
I think, you know, I've got really, like I said before, I've got really good people around me. Like, you know, from my friends just supporting me, and like, you know, my mum and dad have been brilliant and like always been like my biggest cheerleaders. My dad was like before my dad passed, one of the things I told him was that I'd won the competition for the Lady of the House and that I was going to Amsterdam to play it, and he was just like so happy. Like that to me is like, so I think that I've totally forgot what the question was.
Well, you've answered it. Who's been a big part of your journey?
So I would say like my mum and dad have been like absolutely brilliant in it as well, and so that's been great. And you know, I've got one of my friends in Ibiza, Lisa. She's been so supportive as well, and like really believed in me. Really believed in me. So yeah, that's a lovely answer. Thank you. What do you like to do away from music in your downtime? I'm really boring. I do like a night out now and again, but there's nothing more than I love. It's going to sound really sad, but just being on the sofa with my dogs.
That's not boring, because I totally agree.
And some junk food, and that's it. Some crisps and a burger maybe. But yeah, that's like actually, you know, one of the simple things that I absolutely love. Okay,
and so what motivates you? What drives your work? What's your why?
I think, that's quite a hard one. I just think I've got this thing in me there, I just don't want to give up. Yeah. And that I just want to I set myself goals, like not specific goals, but in my head I'm like, I really want to do that. Or one day I'm going to be playing there, or one day, you know, like I think when I experience things like for, you know, for example, like going into Amnesia, going, one day I'm going to play here. And then, you know, and then it just gives you the drive, I think,
What are some of those goals? Are there any particular labels you'd like to release on, or places you'd like to play, or people you'd like to work with?
I'd love to play at Glastonbury. Yeah. I'd love to play. Although I've never actually been, and I'd just like to go and experience it, because it looks insane. But yeah, playing at Glastonbury would be a good one, yeah.
I'm surprised you've not played there before, because you just fit in so well.
I've never played, never been. But I think that's like a key thing for everybody, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think every artist or DJ would love to play there.
Yeah. And what's coming up for you? Projects, shows, music?
I've got loads of gigs coming up in Amnesia over the summer, which I'm really excited about. I'll be playing at High in the Toilets with Gok. As well, and what else have I got going up? I'm playing for He She There at Mint Warehouse,
nice.
Which I'm really looking forward to, and the Leeds Pride, so which is under the Arches, just off Briggate next to Fibre. So just loads of exciting stuff. I'm just going to be a full-on summer, but I'm ready for it. I'm here for it.
Exciting. Hopefully I can see you play at some point. It sounds like you're everywhere, so I'm sure I will. Exciting. Cool. So we like to do a little quick fire round where we do this or that questions.
Oh, right, okay.
So we've got 20.
Right, okay.
So let's see how we get on. You ready?
Yeah.
1, day parties or nighttime raves?
Nighttime raves.
Digital or vinyl?
Digital now. Just keep up with the times.
Ableton or Logic?
Or Logic.
Analog synths or digital plugins?
Digital plugins, because that's what I use.
Yeah. Night owl or early bird?
Night owl.
Studio time or playing live?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say playing live. Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Techno or drum and bass?
Techno.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Solo sets or back-to-back sets?
Oh, I'm gonna say back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
City or countryside?
Oh no, I can't. Can't pick. Love them both. Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. Collaboration or remix?
Collab. Yeah.
Preferred BPM 120 or 130?
30.
Pre-party or after party?
After party always.
Beach party or warehouse rave?
Warehouse rave.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
I think I knew what that one was going to be. Front row or back of the crowd?
Oh, front row. Front row, yeah, front row.
Festivals or nightclubs?
Nightclubs, because I'm in there more. Yeah.
Sweet or savoury for your post-gig snack?
Savoury, always.
Smashed it, that was fast, those 20 questions. Right, so the final question that we like to ask our guests is, if you could go back and meet yourself at the very start of your career in music, what piece of advice would you give to yourself?
Have confidence and believe in yourself. Just do it. Stop being scared and do it, and you're not as bad as you think you are.
I think a lot of people can learn from that.
Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, incredible. Right, if people have been listening today and they've loved hearing what you've got to say and they just want to see more of you, where can people find you on socials?
So you can find me on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube and Facebook at Angel Lee Music.
Incredible, that's so handy having it the same for everything.
Yeah, although actually Facebook's Angel Lee Music UK, but...
There we go. Well, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. It's been incredible.
Oh, I've had the best time. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad. Angel Lee, everybody.
Thank you.